Hello viewers, you welcome to another news hour on Jamano Media and Products. We first begin with our headlines. Gambia elects parliament tomorrow. Jawara Foundation launched with 2,500 bags of rice and sugar Ramadan gift. Gambia abstains at the UN Russia suspension vote. Mamadou Sabali tells Busumbala electorates to vote out National People's Party candidate. Those were the headlines. We now have the news in detail. Elections for the Gambia's 53-seat National Assembly will be held tomorrow between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Some 247 candidates are in the run for the 53 seats. The Independent Electoral Commission said all logistics are in place and the process will be free and fair. The biggest parties, the governing National People's Party and the United Democratic Party, sponsored the largest number of candidates, 40 and 48 respectively, while the rest are competing about half and far less. Meanwhile, the Clerk of House has announced that the 6th legislature would be sworn in on the 14th April. The Abubakar Jawara Foundation, a charity founded by the Chief Executive Officer of GAJ, was launched yesterday with a massive donation of 2,000 bags of rice and 500 bags of sugar to communities across the country. The foundation also gave out 5 motorcycles to the people of Basse and a hoping of $300,000 to facilitate overseas treatment for a kidney patient. The internally displaced people in Funyi also got 500 bags of rice and 100 bags of sugar from the donated items. The ceremony was attended by prominent Muslim leaders, including the founder of the Masjid Bilal Quranic Memorization Center, Isa Jawara, who commended Abubakar for his philanthropic work, which included taking more than 200 people to pilgrimage in Makkah. He said people with means should emulate Abubakar, who can spend over $3 million on donations out of his love for God. Yusufa Jawara, a senior member of the foundation, said the initiative to present donations to the public is amid the alleviation the daily struggles of the population, especially in this period when price hikes are making life unbreakable for the majority of the citizens. Prominent Islamic scholar Hama Jete said Abubakar Jawara and his foundation have embarked on a very important aspect of Islam, giving out to the needy, which he said is the sure way of reaping huge reward for the hereafter. Fatubi Bojang, a beneficiary, thanked the foundation for that she called a timely intervention in Ramadan. Jenaba Seka, a senior official of the foundation, announced the foundation will fly 4 people to perform the Hajj. The launch was graced by members of the Supreme Islamic Council, senior government officials, and ordinary people from many communities. The Gambia is among 58 members of the United Nations who abstained in yesterday's vote to suspend Russia from United Nations Human Rights Commission. The United Nations General Assembly yesterday suspended Russia from the UN Human Rights Council over reports of gross and systematic violations and abuses of human rights in Ukraine, prompting Moscow to announce it was quitting the body. The UN-led push gendered 93 votes in favor, while 24 countries voted no and 58 countries abstained. A 2/3 majority of voting candidates in the 193-member General Assembly in New York. Abstention do not count was needed to suspend Russia from the 47-member Geneva-based Human Rights Council. The Gambia, Senegal, and most other African countries are among the 58 that abstain. Mamadou Sabally, parliamentarian aspirant for United Democratic Party for the Busumbala constituency, has called on the electorates of Busumbala constituency to turn up in their numbers on April 9th and vote out National People's Party candidate Seku Bajaju. The former presidential affairs minister said he is calling on all voters of Busumbala constituency to come out with full force on April 9th and vote out Barrow's candidate Seku Bajaju. A National Assembly candidate who sold his soul to the devil does not deserve to be re-elected into that esteemed office. Barrow knows that his presence in the National Assembly would shine a bright searchlight on his corrupt administration, and that is why he abused the legal process to stop him from contesting this election. He knows that his caution of our sovereignty to other countries, his daylight robbery of our tax money in the national budget, and his aiding and abetting of organized crime in this country would come to an end if he become elected as National Assembly member. He knows that all the social and institutional ills he is spreading in this country would suffer a deadly blow in the people of Busumbala constituency allow the opportunity to vote for him. And that is why he used the Independent Electoral Commission as a willing complice to the throne guard his bid to represent them in the National Assembly. He said, if Adama Barrow actually believed in fair play and if he respected the right of the voters to choose their own representative, why did he prevent the voters from exercising their democratic rights to vote for their own representative? His good fathers, mothers, brothers and sisters of the nation's politically powerhouse Busumbala constituency, please come out in your numbers on April 9th and vote massively to deny the National People's Party Seku Bajaju the opportunity to return to the sacred house after selling himself to President Adama Barrow for a monthly allowance of $10,000. National People's Party parliamentary member from the National Assembly, you would have taken one more powerful step in curing the worst sicknesses of our society. Barrow inflation. The ills of our society like inflation, corruption, deportation, drug trafficking, high crime rates and insecurity. He outlined them. Those were the stories for our today's newscast, but before we take a leave of you, let's take a recap on our top stories. Gambia elects parliament tomorrow. Jawara Foundation launched with 2,500 bags of rice and sugar Ramadan gift. Gambia abstains at the UN Russia suspension vote. Mamadou Sabally tells Busumbala electorates to vote out National People's Party candidate. Those were our stories for our today's newscast. Thank you for joining us with your presenter, Mariama Gillen. Do have a nice weekend.